Ricky Henderson, in the league championship series, I'm not sure we've seen a ball player play as confidently as you did. Did you feel as confident as you looked?
I feel confident, just being in the playoff. It took me a long time by getting in the playoff, and I was so wound up and doing so well for the team and helping the team get to the World Series because it was something that I dreamed of, getting to the World Series. So I was trying not to let anything get in my way.
Ricky, to all those critics over the years who have said there's an on-off switch on Ricky Henderson, and some days he comes to play and some days he doesn't, how do you respond to that?
I really can't respond to it because I don't recall the days that I come and I goes, oh, I can shut it off, and then days I can come out there and say, oh, I'm going to go 4 for 4 and hit 2 home runs. I don't think any ball players have that control on what he can do out on the field. Just based on, I think, the things that, I do probably run so well, and some days maybe I'm not running as fast as I was the other day. People say is that you turn it on and off. I just think it's just based on you maybe went out and stole 4 bases that day. You're just a little tired and you try to save yourself for the whole game.
Ricky, thank you. Have a great series.
The count is 1 ball and no strikes. They have given the error to Kennedy, an error on the catcher, so the bottom of the order accounts for 2 runs, still only 1 out, and Henderson, the leadoff hitter, takes the strike, and the count is 1-1. Phillips at second, Weiss at first.
Even another situation where Henderson obviously would like to get a base hit, but if Scott Garrelts won't throw strikes, Ricky will go right down to first base, load up the bases, and let Carney Lansford, who hit .336 and already has a base hit. Very disciplined.
Good breaking pitch. 2-2.
Great breaking pitch.
Terrific.
2-1. Boy, right off the table.
Phillips to his lead at second. Weiss, the runner at first. Oakland leading 2-0, and the A's trying to break it open in the second inning. 2-2 to Henderson, just inside. Ball 3, and Garrelts thought he had him. And now 3-2 with 1 out.
You can judge for yourself. Boy, it looks like it has some of the plate. Scotty Garrelts certainly wanted, but again, Henderson jumping away from the pitch makes it a little bit more difficult for Rich Garcia, the home plate umpire.
See if LaRussa starts the runners. He does not, and the pitch is hit into right field for a base hit. Phillips is being waved in. Here comes the throw from Maldonado. It's offline, 3-0. Weiss to third. Phillips takes the big turn at second. The throw comes in, and then he gets back. He rounded the bag, looked at Latchman, and then scrambles back ahead of the throw from Maldonado. So Henderson with a single to right, and Rickey is 2 for 4. And the A's now have 10 hits in the game.
And the reason that Phillips Omley on an excellent execution of hitting, Maldonado playing very much shallower than he did before the off field on a right-hand hitter that does not have a lot of power. See Phillips just barely getting back as Uribe tries to make the tag.
Ricky Henderson, 6 for 15 in postseason, plus 8 walks now, including 1 in the first inning. Takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Henderson in the first walked, stole second, and scored on a Lansford double. Check swing foul, and the count is 0-2. So Rick Russell, after a most inauspicious beginning, the walk, the steal, the double to Lansford, has settled down, and he's now retired 7 straight. So he began the game as he began game 2 of the playoffs, but he settled into the type of groove he got into in game 5 Monday when he worked 8. 1-2.
The only run he gave up on Friday, an unearned run. Kevin Mitchell lost a pop fly in the sun. Speaking of the sun,
beautiful shot.
Speaking of the glare, every time I say something, we see a beautiful shot of South Bay.
No.
What are you?
No,
you tell me.
About the middle of the bay.
The middle bay.
Yeah,
okay.
At that point, there it is, looking out toward Alameda and the San Francisco Bay and the Goodyear Columbia hovering above the Coliseum. It'll make the 8-mile jaunt on Tuesday for Game 3 to Candlestick as Henderson loops one into right field for a base hit. So Rickey is on again, and you know what that means with Lansford coming to the plate.
Third baseman, Carney Lansford.
Well, look at the crouch of Henderson and again does not mind hitting with 2 strikes. As an opposing pitcher, you often wonder how many bats does he go through in the course of a season.
To the safe side at second. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ricky Henderson is the batter.
Dutch really on top of that play, though. He saw the glove go past the leg of Butler, and then by the time Phillips recovered to come back and make the tag, it was too late. Good call by Dutch.
1-1 the count.
Game of inches.
1-1 pitch, a ground ball, base hit into left field. So Henderson, a perfect night. He is 2 for 2 plus a walk. He has stolen a base and scored a run. He is now 4 for 7 in the World Series, and Carney Lansford is the batter.
And if you're wondering why Russell's still on the mound, I think
without getting in some sort of work. But that's what happens when you have that many days off.
Excuse me, Lefferts with some shoulder problems. Same with Eckersley with the tightness. And Bedrosian apparently had some soreness in his right shoulder.
That's hit fair by third down into the corner. And it dies in the bullpen. It is still in play. And Henderson moves into third. The umpire, Eric Gregg, giving the hands down signal, meaning still in play. And I think Kevin Mitchell went over there and thought that somebody had touched it and it was going to be a ground rule double, and it was anything but. And so Gregg, with 6 umpires in the World Series working the left field line, kept putting his palms down. Henderson had hesitated, rounding second. He had thought for the moment that maybe the ball was out of play, but once again, Gregg put the arms down and Rickey kept on going to third.
One of those stand-up triples you were talking about.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Sure. Happen all the time.
This ball hits the line, I believe. Yep, right on the chalk. Call fair by Al Clark. And Mitchell going over. The ball bouncing around. The fan did not touch the ball, but technically that should be a ground rule double. I think that ball's under the bench in the bullpen.
1-1 the count. Stu, I guess forever destined to finish second or third in the Cy Young balloting. It's going to happen again this year, probably.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people wonder how you can be baseball's most consistent player or pitcher over the last 3 years and not win a Cy Young award. Well, it's simple. Just have 3 superlative years, and then somebody each year has a little bit better. 87, it was Clemens. It was 20-9 with a lower ERA. And 88, it was Viola, and this year, Brett Saberhagen. Saberhagen going 23-6 with the lowest ERA in baseball for a starter. It's 2.16, just a little bit lower than Scott Gereltz, who led the National League with a 2.22.
3-1 pitch is fouled off, and the count 3-2 on Henderson. Rickey was one of the few A's who got here in plenty of time for the game. The team bus left the Oakland Coliseum at about 1:45 and didn't arrive at Candlestick Park until around 3:20 this afternoon. So they had a truncated batting practice as Henderson rips one into left center for a base hit and more as Mitchell has to play it off the fence, and Rickey has a double. Henderson hitting it so hard. That's the type of ball that's a guaranteed double on AstroTurf, but normally dies on the grass in this park, or at least is cut off by an outfielder. And Henderson able to drive it through the gap and winds up at second.
We told you in game 1 and 2 that Henderson does not mind hitting with a 3-2 count. The reason, he knows he's not going to be walked. So you take a little bit off if you're the pitcher. And that's the key to getting this guy out right here.
So Ricky Henderson to lead off.
Pardon me, Al. As a matter of fact, Don Robinson has walked only 1 in his last 32 innings of work, and that was an intentional walk. His last start, September 25th.
That was his last regular season start. He worked once in the playoffs and, in fact, was the winning pitcher in Game 3 against Chicago. So here we go. The 4th game is underway, and the first pitch to Henderson is outside. The plate umpire is Dutch Rennert, and you will know that immediately. You can hear Dutch in Amsterdam. The 1-0 pitch to Ricky Henderson. Missing outside, ball 2. And again, the Giants digging themselves a hole, as the Blue Jays did throughout the playoffs, and as the Giants have done too often in the World Series by walking Henderson, or at least letting him get on somehow, leading off. And he hits a high fly ball to left field, and that one is carrying, and back goes Mitchell, and it's a launching pad again tonight. And I have to tell you, I've seen a lot of games in this park, and that fooled everybody. But on a winless night, what would be a normal routine fly ball goes out, just like last night, 1-0.
That sets a World Series record. Never in the history of the World Series has 8 different players hit home runs. Now only Mark McGwire has not homered.
Lansford hits one to center field and right at Butler for the out. So 1 down in the first inning. Henderson on a 2-0 pitch. Swinging away and making it 1-0 Oakland. On Henderson.
It's almost like an instant replay, that shot. 3-0 Oakland. The Giants have not been ahead in this series yet. They have been tied once the score. They were tied 1-1 in game 2.
And that's grounded to the hole for a base hit. Moore is being waved in by Laxman. Here comes Kevin Mitchell's throw to Kennedy. Not in time. Down to second goes Henderson, and it's 4-0. And then to left field. So the home run assault last night, that was lost in the shuffle. And also lost in the shuffle, Carney Lansford tied a World Series record held by several, scoring 4 runs in a game. Henderson, meanwhile, drills one to the gap in right center field, and the only question is double or triple. Well, there's 2, and he's on his way to third, and it's 3. And all Henderson needs for the cycle is a double. A homer, a single, a triple, and he is now 9 for 17 in the World Series after an even more spectacular playoff series against Toronto.
What would he do with the cycle? He already has one. Watch him motor to third base. Well, what a gate. And he is going to command big, big bucks this winter. What timing on the part of Ricky Henderson. It couldn't be better.
Well, he turned down $2.4 million from the Yankees. And again, you know, one of the reasons, Tim, he gets to third is that he comes out of the box thinking triple. Obviously hit it up the gap. 7-0 lead. You could be thinking double.